it should work both ways. Like, if you are also interested in representing your country, you should also do the effort as well, not just go, let's say weightlifting, not just go to the gym and lift weights and that's it and say, oh, my country didn't recognize me. No, I think you just like reach out to whatever. Like we live in the age of internet, so it's easy just to go online and just send something, or just get the number of the place and just call them, or just go to your embassy in the country and just tell them this, that, and if they can help you out with your country. You shouldn't just, it works both ways. You shouldn't just sit at home and wait for something to come to you. You should also work for it, not by just going to the gym and actually doing the effort of trying to do the documentation. If the country doesn't know about you, how can they know that you are living somewhere and you're doing this? You should do an advertisement about yourself on Instagram or whatever. Social media, a lot of people get recognition from that and they have zero
Yeah.
talents. A lot of people on social media is like literally zero talent, and they're famous for nothing, for making content that just like makes you want to throw the phone out of
Yeah.
the window along with the TV because of the news.
Yeah.
So,
Disposable content.
yeah, so if you have the talent, then you can just invest a little bit more instead of like going to the coffee shop after the gym or whatever, or going clubbing, or regardless whatever your activities are. Do that
Yeah.
1 minute video of yourself on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever social media platform everyone uses, and
Yeah.
you can hashtag this and that and whatever. It's like fill your page with hashtags, and one day, you don't know, one day you'll be recognized. One day one person will see this, will be like, oh, this person, wow, talent, and so on and so on. So
Yeah. For the Olympics itself, I believe in any sports, there's like qualifying events. I think they're called Olympic qualifying events,
yeah.
like where they have scouts for these. Obviously, like you said, you need to make a name for yourself. How do you make a name for yourself? Like anybody can lift, but you need to be actually certified, I think, and recognized and have a certain amount of wins under your belt. So that's where they would go to these Olympic qualifying events, and but again, like if there's not enough education about the matter, like nobody's gonna give a shit. Like again, it's such a niche like interest and like career path for some people to like
Hmm.
I like who let's get most of us who are interested in sports wanted to be soccer players. Not me. I was a fat boy. I did not give a crap about soccer. I played my shabab in Nahara and that was the extent of it. But
I
most of these
was,
countries, yeah.
I went into I almost went pro, but my mom rejected the offer. I was gonna play for Al Wahda club back in the days when I was young. They wanted me in the academy, but my mom rejected the offer. She said,
She was like, nah, son, go back to education.
yeah, she literally told me that. She's like, no. She's like, football is not an actual career. You can't live off of it. You need your education. One injury and it might end your career. Like my mom always took it to the extreme. She just had to like end it. You one injury and that's it. You
Yeah,
die.
man.
Like that's it. So I'm like, okay, I was young. I can't say anything. I was a kid. So I can't go like, no,
Yeah,
mom, you don't understand. I have to go and retaliate. That doesn't work in our kind of family.
culture.
In this side of the world, you can't go like, no, you don't understand. I do what I want to do. You're gonna get the beating of your life.
You can't be a white person like fuck you, mom. I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah, I mean, if you can say that, but then you will get like
Then
the beating of your
you would
life.
yeah you would forfeit your right to live basically.
Yes, like not even your country will recognize you anymore.
Oh, that's
So, so
the,
yeah,
the UN would have to send in UNICEF to save you.
you know, yeah, it literally is. It was also with education. I remember I wanted to study astrophysics, and my mom rejected that. I'm like, she
That's
she had
funny.
she had to end it for me. She's like, astrophysicists are the first ones that die. I'm like, okay,
Well,
that's it.
she didn't know what astrophysicist meant.
No, she knows what it is, but
That's
she just wanted to kill it. Like
Well,
because the thing is, you know, like it's I'm pretty sure a lot of people share this the same you know, like l- lifestyle growing up, the only child, because I was an only child. So, you know, like if your parents are always, you know, concerned about every little detail that happens with you. I'm not talking about being spoiled and this nonsense. No, like, you know, if you cannot choose any stupid career path or any stupid thing, like they're always at your neck. They give you the chance to breathe a little bit, but then they're just there, like with the football, for example. She's like, no, you get one injury and that's it. It kills your career. Like, w-
yeah,
w-
exactly.
like it's. I mean, it's true. Yes, a lot of football players got these injuries, knee injuries, and that's it. Like the career just got destroyed. Nobody heard of them anymore. But not necessarily every single football player did. Like, look at Messi, for example. I mean, of course, I'm no Messi,
Me-
but I mean,
Messi is an extreme outlier for the
yeah,
norm.
a lot of people, a lot of football players as well. They might not be as famous as Messi or Ronaldo, but they stayed consistent throughout their life, whether it was 20 years of career or 16 or depending on how many years of their career they went. Some people start slow and they just blossom at the end of their career. Some people just start like a talent, like wow, this kid is the wonder kid, and then they just because of the fame that gets to their head, they just start doing some other things and they just go downhill. But
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that's it's not necessarily an injury. But my mom had to like
I
pull.
mean, that's the thing with parents in general, yani.
Mm,
They do not want you, at least in our culture, they don't want you doing what you want to do. Most of them. Now, I'm sure
yeah,
a lot of people look, no, my parents weren't like that. My parents, yeah, man, fuck you. You had cool parents. Uh, Most of us don't have or would never have that freedom. It was always you do what we say best. And even if they gave you the choice, it was like a fake choice. They would ask you a question, and then maybe
it's a
they would wait for you to answer.
rhetorical
Yeah,
question.
and if you answer the wrong way, the way that they didn't want you to answer, they would just look at you and be like, "Okay, we're waiting for you to change your answer," and
Yeah,
then you would have to change your answer and do what
it's
the whatever the hell they goddamn wanted. It's
it's
inevitable.
yeah, it's I mean, there was a little bit of leniency. It depends, of course, on the parents, but there's always a little bit of leniency. But that
Mm,
leniency is, you know, it's like it's not elastic. It's just like you know, it's like these very tight jeans that don't become elastic, just like that. You wear them. If you gain that 1.1 gram, you can't fit them in them anymore. That's the leniency you get. It's like, okay, we
mm,
give you the option to choose what you want to study. You can study between any kind of engineering and any kind of medicine. So that's the leniency you get.
yeah,
But you can't go beyond that. You can't
yeah.
go like, oh, I want to be an artist. Oh my God, no.
No, that's yeah, that's the only career path for an Arab child is doctor or engineer, preferably doctor. Like if you're an engineer, you're like a semi disappointment because you're not a doctor. Funnily enough, when I had no interest in engineering, like for those also who don't know, I am by trade a mechanical engineer. Uh, so I never wanted to be that one. Like when I went to college, I immediately knew that that wasn't for me. Came back to my parents, and I was like, "Listen, pops, I really don't like this." I had no problems in grades. Like alhamdulillah, like got good grades. And eventually graduated with honors. But literally, I remember every semester I would go and talk to my dad because he's a mechanical engineer. I was like, I really don't see myself in this field. I'm not enjoying it. And his answer was like, you started this path, you're gonna finish it. There is no going back. Khalas. But let's. And at that point, like he's paying for your education, and it's not like wallah in the States where kids go out on their own and they take loans, and it's more independence. Like I know a lot of guys here, Yani, maybe our age, maybe younger, up to their mid 20s, who still like cannot function alone without their parents or without somebody telling them what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
It's really disturbing. That issue isn't like that for like Westerners. You can see somebody who's like 16, 17 years old and they're already like know how to figure shit out in their life. But I remember after telling my father for so long, I graduated with engineering. I didn't want the degree, and I was like, I want to go into medicine. He gave me a look, and then he gave me a look like I spit on his soul. He's like, he was so upset that I said I rejected mechanical engineering and that I wanted to become a doctor. Uh, and I was like, Bubba, you're like the first heir apparent in existence to be upset that their kid wants to become a doctor. So it's that kind of mentality that we have, unfortunately, and it's really actually very, very, very detrimental to us, Yani, as people growing up, and as just functioning members of